Have you ever wondered why jealousy, a seemingly universal human emotion, is perceived differently across various cultures and religions? The intricacy of this emotion is as baffling as it is intriguing. It's a thread woven into the fabric of our relationships, sometimes unnoticed, and at other times becoming the very thing that unravels it all. Jealousy, an inexplicably powerful force, can be both a catalyst for destruction or a tool for growth. When left unchecked, it can erode trust, breed resentment, and shatter bonds. Yet when managed with empathy and understanding, it can inspire self-improvement, ignite motivation, and foster deeper connections. From a lover's envy to a competitor's rivalry, jealousy is a sentiment that's universal, yet unique in its manifestation. It's a dance of emotions, a balancing act between the heart's desires and the mind's rationality. So it's fascinating to ponder. One might wonder, how does Islam, one of the world's major religions, view jealousy? In the Islamic tradition, jealousy, or hasad, is generally regarded as a negative emotion. It's a sentiment that can sneak up on us, often manifesting in the form of envy towards others' blessings or achievements. It's something quite common, yet it's considered detrimental, not just to our spiritual well-being, but also to the harmony of our communities. The teachings of Islam provide a profound insight into the nature of jealousy. They urge us to recognize the destructive potential of this emotion, as it can lead to harm and discord. When we allow jealousy to take hold, we risk sowing seeds of resentment, which in turn can breed conflict and division. It's the equivalent of inviting a destructive storm into a peaceful garden. But here's where the beauty of Islamic teachings comes into play. They not only highlight the potential pitfalls of jealousy, but also provide guidance on how to combat it. They encourage us to cultivate a sense of contentment and gratitude for our own blessings, rather than looking enviously at what others have. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is reported to have said, "Look at those who are beneath you and do not look at those who are above you, for it is more suitable that you should not consider as less the blessing of Allah." The teachings go a step further by promoting goodwill and brotherhood. Instead of feeling envious, we're taught to pray for others' prosperity and to rejoice in their success. This, in turn, fosters a sense of community and unity, which is a cornerstone of Islamic philosophy. But Islam's view of jealousy is not entirely negative, as there is a concept of good jealousy or ghibta. This is a type of jealousy that doesn't wish for others to lose their blessings, but aspires to attain similar blessings. It's a form of positive emulation, a desire to excel and achieve, rooted not in resentment, but in admiration and motivation. But more on that in the next part of our discussion. In Islam, ghibta is a form of jealousy that is not only permissible but can be positive. This nuanced concept of envy is quite unique. It's not about begrudging someone else's success or blessings, but rather it's a desire to achieve similar blessings without wishing for the other person to lose theirs. Imagine seeing someone with a successful career, and instead of feeling bitter, you aspire to work hard and attain the same level of success. That is ghibta. It's a motivational force, a catalyst for self-improvement and personal growth. This form of jealousy is not destructive or harmful. On the contrary, it encourages individuals to strive for success, to better themselves, and to seek their own path to prosperity. It's a reflection of the Islamic belief that everyone has the potential for greatness, and that striving for success is a virtuous pursuit. Now that we understand jealousy from the Islamic perspective, how does it compare with other religions or philosophies? Like Islam, many other religions and philosophical traditions also have complex views on jealousy. Let's first take a peek into Christianity. The Bible often speaks of God as a jealous God, but this isn't quite the same as human jealousy. It's more about God's desire for his people to remain faithful, highlighting his intense love for humanity. However, when it comes to humans, the New Testament urges believers to cast away jealousy, as it can lead to disorder and evil practices. Now let's swing over to Buddhism. Buddhism views jealousy as a form of suffering linked to the concept of tanha or craving. It's seen as a hindrance to enlightenment, a negative emotion that arises from attachment and desire. Here, the emphasis is on overcoming jealousy through mindfulness and understanding the impermanence of all things. Now let's pivot to a secular philosophy, Stoicism. Stoicism teaches that we should focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. Jealousy in this context is seen as irrational because it involves desiring things outside of our control. Stoics would advocate for understanding and managing our emotions, including jealousy, to achieve tranquility. Now let's compare these with the Islamic view we discussed earlier. All these traditions recognize the destructive potential of unchecked jealousy, but they approach it differently. Christianity sees it as a moral failing that disrupts peace, Buddhism as a form of suffering that hinders enlightenment, and Stoicism as an irrational emotion that disturbs tranquility. In contrast, Islam distinguishes between destructive jealousy and ghibta, a form of envy without ill will. This isn't seen as negative, but rather as a motivation to improve oneself, to aspire for goodness without wishing harm upon others. It's clear that while every tradition has its unique perspective, there are also common threads in how they approach jealousy. In today's discussion, we have explored the nuanced view of jealousy in Islam and compared it with other perspectives. We began by delving into the complexity of jealousy, a multifaceted emotion that can both inspire and deter. We then provided an overview of how Islam interprets this emotion, shedding light on its potential for both positive and negative outcomes. The concept of ghibta was introduced, a form of benign envy encouraged in Islam that motivates one to strive for better without wishing ill on others. To provide a more comprehensive view, we compared these Islamic perspectives to those found in other religions and philosophies. These comparisons revealed a common thread. Most ideologies acknowledge the dual nature of jealousy and encourage a balanced approach. And so, we conclude, jealousy, like any emotion, is not inherently good or bad. It's our response and actions that define its impact. Understanding these different perspectives can help us manage our own feelings of jealousy in a healthier and more constructive way.